Good morning from Paradise. Been a couple days since we made a video. Couple quick updates first. For some reason my lilies have died. They didn't survive out here in the sun. They're a lost cause, but we're almost out of the top of the glass with these. So probably 2 more days, I'll go ahead and move these into that container we just looked at and drop them in the fish tank and see how they do. I'm not real sure whether they should be direct sun or shaded all the time or both, or I'm not sure what's going on. If anybody has any suggestions, please throw them in the comments below. 2 days ago, we went over to Mark's and did that video, a follow-up video on his place. So I spent most of the yesterday, at least the hot part of the day anyhow, on the computer editing that video. I did go around and I cut all the ties off these except the ones that are actually tying them to the stick. So there's one string left on every one of them, just holding them upright so they can start to spread out now and kind of tie into each other. So in a month or two, we can just go through and start trimming them as a hedgerow. Water's completely gone. No birds chasing each other up there. Not sure what's that all about. Protecting a nest or something, I guess. I don't know, but anyhow, the swimming hole's completely dry now. Silted in pretty good though. This hole was quite a bit deeper than that. Just the center part. But I guess when it was full, it kind of silted in with the rains and stuff. We're still not getting rain. It just, I don't know. Surprising. I thought this was supposed to be the rainiest month of all in the Isan region. And we aren't getting any rain, maybe one a week. So I got on the internet and looked, and this is supposed to be the wettest month of the year. But from the time we finished the house to now, this has been the driest month. So I guess this is what I'm saying is out of the last 3 months, this has been the driest month. So that's the Katome tree we looked at in the last video. You can see from here, when I started treating it, because the bugs were eating it before, once I started treating it and the new leaves came out, then it's been pretty good. It looks like we got a little bit of damage going on that one, but I'll treat them again. One right there, you can see it sticking up. That's one that was planted at the same time as this. You can see that's doing well. You can't see the other one from here, but it's right under that papaya tree, straight in line with it down toward the bottom. It looks good. This tree here is still amazing me, this coconut tree. How much that thing has sprung up. Once again, I'm not sure why these two are yellow as they are. It worries me. I'm not sure if they're not getting nutrients or not getting enough water, but these three are the same species, planted at the same time, except this one was further up the bank before. They weren't really in line. If you recall, I dug it up from up here and moved it down there just to kind of get them lined up again. And it looks okay, but I'm not sure. Maybe this is just not getting enough water, but I would think it would be because these have been in here a while, so the roots got to be almost down to the water table by now. So I'm not real sure what's going on with them. This is the other Katome tree that I planted at the same time as that last one we looked at. As you can see, it's doing really well. That thing is just going crazy. But I will say, as you can see, this is kind of where she's been working her poop at. And I had always planned on putting a Katome tree here. So way back, right at the end of the dry season, I dug this all up, put some fertilizer and some cow poop down in the ground, stirred it all up, buried it. And so there's good nutrients in the dirt here. And that's probably why it's doing better than all the rest of them. This is the other one we looked at that's been in here for months. And as you can see, it hasn't done anything. A couple new leaves right in here, but we'll just keep an eye on. But the reason we were out here at the pond, as you could probably guess, is to follow up on Banana 4. I was out here yesterday. I had another petal that opened up and had a group of bananas popped out. And I can see from here right now, the second bunch has popped out since I looked at it yesterday morning. Hell, the third one's even coming out back there. It's always good to see. We still have not done anything else with the rest of these down here as far as thinning them out. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. It really doesn't matter. We actually put these in here primarily just to create shade quickly. And as you can see, these things have gone crazy and grown big, and they are providing some nice shade along here, because what I was trying to hope to do is get shade on some of these younger trees that we put in here. These are tall palm trees here, down around through here, and the intent is to eventually get these up to where they create good shade for around the salah in this corner of the pond. But these bananas will get us by for shade until these things can start to mature. As I mentioned before, we replaced half of these three times because we couldn't get them to grow in the hot season. But they were out here in the bare sun. Everything was dry. We were watering them every day. It was just an ongoing battle. And if you haven't figured out, I'm not a gardener. I don't know a lot about this stuff. I just kind of play it by ear. So I'm going to come out here and trim this. She's still got some trees that are a bit alive here. Now this is actually just grass coming up out of here. It's not the rice, this stuff. The rice hasn't started to top out yet. You can see by ours, it's all wavy and bumpy and crappy. Look at this one. A few of these, they have come out here and cut them with one of those brush cutters like I bought. And their belief is that it makes them grow thicker and more yield. Makes no sense to me, because one plant is going to get one, like most grasses, just come up and get one set of seeds. I thought they were doing it to delay that seeding process to later in the year so it doesn't seed too early before they can get in there and get it harvested. I don't know. I don't know why they do it. She said they do it to up their yield because they believe it makes them produce more rice seeds. Maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But either way, this one has not been trimmed, but it's pretty level, as are most of those. That one over there has been completely cut. That guy spent all day out there with one of those weed trimmers, cut that whole field down about 2 weeks ago, and it's already looking at least as good as this one, and this one hasn't been cut. Ours, for some reason, looks like the Rocky Mountains. And I'm sure it's something to do with either nutrients in the dirt or the amount of water it's getting. I don't know. Doesn't really matter either, because we're not here for rice. I mentioned that we went to Mark's the other day. Today, we got a subscriber, Gary. He's coming in about noon, him and his wife. Don't really have an agenda yet, but I imagine we'll do a walk around here and then maybe go to lunch or something like that. Let me get through this gate here. I don't have the key for that one, so I'm just going to go through this one. I got to do something with this gate. This mesh is a pain in the ass because it just gets all hooked in the barbed wire, as you've seen. But I'm going to have to do something different along here, just get rid of this mesh. But like I said before, I talked to Sampit about getting a quote on a chain link fence to put actually all the way around the property, just keep the cows out of here completely. But we haven't done anything with that yet. We'll talk about it some more. This is the little banana I showed you last time that had died, and it had the little pup coming up finally. We planted this at the same time we planted all those. For some reason, this one wouldn't grow. We watered it the same as we did everything else. Finally, I just gave up on it, quit watering it, died off, and now it popped a pup. But now, right now, this minute, I see a second one coming up right down there. So I don't know, maybe it's having a rebirth and going to come back to life. Once again, this is the full-size banana tree that Sampit moved out here. Full size meaning, for those of you in the West, meaning standard banana that you see in the US. The rest of these are those mini baby bananas, which is the typical banana. Boy, there was a big catfish just come up there. I just seen him flip and turn back down. Now some bubbles coming up there too. Again, this tree was planted at the same time as the one across the pond that's doing so well. As is this one. I thought Sampit find out what that is. I thought it was a weed, but it looks like it's a damn tree. Too much stuff too close together here. This thing's going to come out. Once this thing grows up a little bit, this silly thing's coming out. We don't eat the papayas anyhow. This is the original Katome tree. Looks like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree, but Looks like the birds like it. Imagine there's perching right here. A guava tree. You can see we got some guavas on there. I think this is a mulberry tree. Katome. These two have always struggled. I don't know why. There was a third one there. It died, but I don't know. These things just don't seem to work very well. I just don't understand what the difference is in these trees. I mean, doing great, doing great, doing great. These other ones just can't survive hardly. Right down there, I had a couple weaver birds was buzzing around here a while back. They started building a nest there, and then they just disappeared. In fact, I think I put one of them on a video. He was sitting on the grass right over here, but they were building a nest right here, and then they just suddenly disappeared. And I hadn't seen them for a long time. I mentioned it to Sampit the other day, and she said, oh, yeah, there's one still fluttering around somewhere. So I don't know where they're at, but obviously they've abandoned this one. I don't know if they've made one somewhere else that we just can't see it, but she said she's seen them out here just the other day. We showed this in the last video. We got these in. As I said, I never did anything to really plant them in the ground. I just laid them down there. They eventually worked themselves in. So I mentioned Gary's coming in here in a little while. Tomorrow, which is a Saturday, we got Mark and Warren, who you both know, coming in. Karsten got a hold of me yesterday, asked if we were going to be around. So I said, just join us in the evening. So we got those three coming in tomorrow evening. We're going to meet up here, probably just have a couple beers, bullshit for a while, and then go out to dinner at our favorite restaurant. And then later yesterday, Andy, you guys saw him in a video way back in probably October when we went up to Surin to that meetup. Him and his wife were in that video. But he got a hold of me and said, hey, what are you doing Saturday? And I told him the agenda. Well, he wants to come down. They're going to be in here about noon tomorrow. So anyhow, the next 24 hours, we're going to be pretty busy entertaining folks. Not a big deal. It's all good. But then that still gets us off Sunday to figure out what we're going to do on Monday. As the plan right now is still take off on Monday, go do something somewhere for a week or two. But with that, we're going to get off this camera. We got to run into our little, what we call Costco, but it's kind of like a discount bulk buy place that all the little stores around here go to get their supplies. We're going to run in there and pick up some stuff for tomorrow and our trip. Our people just showed up. Gary?
Gary, yep.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You okay on YouTube?
Sure.
Okay. Hi.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, no problem. Don't worry about shoes. All right, so they have showed up. We're going to show them around here a little bit. If anything exciting happens, we will catch up with you in a little bit. All right, good morning from Paradise in Thailand. First thing first, I want to apologize for not getting more video of Gary and Nit, his wife. But they got here yesterday right around midday and went in, sit down, thought we'd kind of just get to know each other a little bit. And next thing you knew, it was 3 hours later. It was raining. We hardly got to walk out around the property because it was raining, but they were here for about 4 hours and it went by fast because, I mean, we just sat and talked and talked and talked and talked. I think we hit it off pretty well. Looking forward to seeing you guys come back, Gary. Good luck on your adventure and your travels. And I told Gary, normally I would do like a little interview, just give his background a little bit, but I'm telling you, the time went by so fast, it just didn't have time to do it because they were late for something when they left. But, anyhow, thanks, Gary and Nit. Look forward to seeing you again. So today we got Andrew coming in. You have seen Andrew on the channel before briefly. Last November or December, whenever it was, we went up to Surin to the hamburger joint to meet Dave from Gotta Love Thailand. And while we were there, we met Andrew and his wife, Kwong, I believe it is, and got to know them pretty well, messaged back and forth for a while. And I think we seen them up at Dave's house ceremony in Ubon in December. And they probably were on the video, but I probably didn't say anything because I didn't talk much outside because there was so much going on there and so much noise. I just didn't do a lot of talking in that video. But here nor there, they're going to be in here around noon today. And then this evening around 5, Ozzy Mark's going to be here. I believe it's Wazzy Ozzy is his YouTube name, but Warren, you've seen him a couple times. He's been here. We went out to dinner a couple times. He's scheduled to be in here about 5. Not sure if he's going to make it. But also Karsten. Karsten came here to visit. We went out to steak with Karsten down in Pattaya when we were down there this last trip. He's supposed to be in here, and they're all bringing their partners. So we've got kind of a full house later tonight. We're going to meet here, probably just bullshit for a couple hours, and then we'll go over and eat lunch at our favorite cafe that I did that coverage on a while back. So we've got a busy day today because this morning before Andrew shows up midday, I need to go in and get the oil changed on the truck so it's ready to go on Monday when we get ready to take off. And I need to try to get a haircut because my hair is getting out of control again. So I'm going to get off this camera. I'm going to get into town, get the oil changed in this thing, and go get a haircut. Get back here before Andy gets here. All right, we have some Paradise visitors. Andy came through earlier. We went to lunch. As soon as he got here, we come back and sit and talked, and I didn't get any video, but we're going to see him Monday on the way through Surin when we meet with Dave. So we're actually going to go to their house for a little bit, but we'll get the video with them later. But you all remember Karsten, he showed up, and Mark and Guang are here, so we're going to sit around here. We're going to have a little beer. Book, Guang's son, is out fishing, and he just caught a big old catfish, so he's all happy. Karsten's back. We all know Mark, so.
Choke knee.
Choke knee.
No leaking.
No. Well, I was showing Mark. It's leaking something, but the floor is dry.
Is that from the sun, you think?
No, it's coming out of the hole, but I think it's drying before it gets to the floor because there's never anything accumulated here. Okay, we're all packed up. We're going to go over and get something to eat at our favorite restaurant. Hopefully there's not a lot of music over there, but I need to close some doors and get some light shut off here. Warren did not make it tonight, but Mark and Karsten both did. We told the restaurant earlier when we were here with Andy we would be back tonight with a group, so they have a table ready for us. Sampet called earlier, so let's get in here and see what we got. Looks like they got a table ready for us. We're back here in the back. We shouldn't have any music disturbing us because they had it on a minute ago and I heard it up there, but I didn't hear it back here. I think this is our table. We were up here for lunch with Andy, and we told him we'd be back with a small group tonight, so they said just call a minute ahead. Karsten?
Yes, book YouTube star now.
Book, do you have a girlfriend? No, oh, there you go. No way. So they're a little bit busy tonight. We got plenty of people up front where we normally sit, but they set up our table back here in the back, which I'm good with. We actually sat right over here with Andy earlier today. But they've got a pretty good crowd. Looks like they got a party or something going on over there. These ladies just come in. There's people sitting down through here. And that, I don't know if you can see the light in the camera, but way out there in the bushes is a light. That's the next piece they're adding on. They actually had the water fountain running in the pond earlier today when we were here for lunch. And Book's still looking for a girlfriend. So we kind of wiped out a bunch of food here. This fish, they ordered it before we left the house, and it just showed up after all this other food has been wiped out. But in general, we're going to say the food is delicious. And it always is. And I think that sets it apart from the rest of the restaurants around here, not to mention the ambiance, which is great, but you can't find it anywhere else in this area that I've seen. Most of the restaurants, either concrete or dirt floors. They don't have the floor all around, and they don't have beautiful waitresses like this.
Oh, she knows, huh?
She knows, yeah. Okay, we've kind of wiped out all the food here really quick. So we've decided we're all going to meet at Mark's house tomorrow evening and do a what?
Roast pork.
Roast pork. So that's the plan. We will probably add that to this video. Karsten's going to be there. All right, beautiful morning in Paradise. Not hot at all, mostly cloud cover. It looks like it might clear up a little bit. But yeah, we had a good evening last night. Too bad Warren couldn't have made it. But as I closed out last night, we announced that we're going to meet at Mark's today he's going to roast a pork loin or something. But so we'll be over there this evening. We are still planning to leave tomorrow morning. I just sent a message out to Dave to find out if he wants to meet for lunch tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, we plan to go over to Andy's house and see their place. And I think there's a fish farm between where we're going to do lunch and Andy's place. We're going to stop in there for just a minute and see that. Andy knows the guy. So right now, everything is tentative for the next couple of weeks. We've got no plan, no schedule, no nothing. I had a little project this morning. I was going to, ever since they turned these water lines on without flushing the lines first, this spare toilet over here has always been filling slowly. So my mission this morning was to tear that apart and clean it out. I thought I was going to have to take the fill mechanism out. It had debris inside of it, but as it turns out, as the line down here goes into the back of the toilet, there's two connectors there, and the top one actually has a strainer screen in it. So I took this apart, took the hose off it to tear that thing apart. When I took that off, I seen the screen. So I just took and back flushed the screen, basically run water backwards so it cleaned it out, stuck it back together. It's working fine. But what I wanted to show you is we bought these one-piece toilets. It's all wet right here right now, the walls and everything, because I just sprayed everything down when I was done, and which is a comment I was going to make about these bathrooms in Thailand. With everything being tile like this, I just grabbed this little butt gun here. Just wash everything right down the drain over there. So start getting a bunch of lizard poop or dead bugs or something, just rinse it down. Can't do that in the West because of the wood floors. But anyhow, back to this toilet. I really thought this was a cool design. I figured it'd be low maintenance because these tanks tend to wobble, get loose and wobble over the years. But I will tell you, working on them, as you can see, the mounting bolts are back up underneath it. So very, very difficult to get to. And the hose is, I don't even know if you can see it, is clear up in there. So it's really hard to get your hand up in there to get it loose, and you can't see it, so you're kind of working blind, especially the first time out when you're not familiar with it. But it got it apart, got it clean, got it back together, and it's refilling the tank quite well now. So I'm happy with that. That didn't take very much easier than what I had hoped it would be. So I'm doing her toenails. Never. Not a long time anyhow. That whole first 5 birds there are those. Look at the one flying around out there. Those are the green bee eaters. They're so fun to watch fly. Look at how they just swoop around and duck and dive. So those first 6 are blue or green bee eaters. That other one's a sparrow like these 2 here. But yeah, I love watching them. Look at them fly out there. This is the bird that I had said I've seen one day over this field. Flew right straight up, and then just stopped flying and just free fell for, I thought he died. I thought he had a heart attack. He free fell for 50 feet and then just started flying again. Funnier than hell. Beautiful birds too. Long pointy tail there. Green with like a golden crest on the top of its head. But they eat bees. They swoop down around here and eat bees. So I'd like to get more flowers around here just to attract more of these, because like I said, I love watching them fly around. You can't get close to them. They're pretty flighty. I was surprised I got that close to that many of them. I opened this back gate last night so we could park back here if we needed to, but as it turned out, we didn't need it. But I forgot to close it last night, so it was open all night long. But I didn't see anywhere where the dogs come in. Take a look at this. Bananas number 1. This top one's still got some square edges. Hopefully they're good until we get back. We'll have Sabai keep an eye on them while we're gone. If they look like they're ready, we'll just have her pick them and give them away, because we got all these other bananas now. So it's been about 72 hours since we looked at these last ones. The number 4. And as you can see, if you look how these progress, they start out like this. Once they get out here, then they just start folding their way up. And here in just a couple more days, those will be all the way back up like those are. They start out hanging down and they just work their way up. But yeah, this is about 72 hours and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bunches. So looks like it's probably popping a petal about every day is what it looks like. So they really progress rapidly, but we'll have to have somebody keep an eye on this too, or her uncle, and have him whack that heart off there. If they want it. If they don't, it ain't gonna hurt anything to leave it on there. But yeah, we got plenty of bananas now, as long as nobody takes them. It feels really good to have most of this house project done and gone and behind us. I mean, there's always going to be little projects like that toilet and stuff like that to do, as everybody that's ever owned a house knows, or even rented a house, because you still have those same types of problems. But it feels good to just have the project completely done and just take time. And like I said, we're taking off. Sompid just said, how long should I pack for? I said, I have no idea. Did you think it'll be a week? I said, oh, it's going to be at least a week. Maybe 2, I don't know. We're just going to see how it goes. It's always so, I just can't get over how beautiful it is out here. All the green. 6 months, it'll be all the brown. Everything's just growing like crazy. It's great. And one more quick little update. We got the Surface Pro running, but with Windows 11, and with Windows 11, this is a third-party keyboard, meaning it's not Microsoft, so it's not recognizing it, so the keyboard ain't working. So that means I got to try to get 10 back on there, or just give up on this damn thing and go get a new laptop, which might be what we do. We're out on the road running around the country next week, so maybe we'll just stop in a couple places and take a look at some laptops. I don't want to go buy a Microsoft keypad for this, put it on there, and then have it not work, because I don't know if these keypads maybe are not compatible with Windows 11. I do not know. But here and there, I don't want to waste any more money on this thing, because this is 10 years old already. So with that, I'm not sure what we're going to do, but that's where we're at on the Surface Pro, and that'll be the last update here on it. Okay, and as I said before we leave on our trip, I was going to take these fresh new lilies that I've grown in the glass, and both seeds have at least 2 sprouts. I don't know if you can see that. I'll show you when I get them out of here, I guess. And I'm going to get them into the mud. I don't know what you call it, mud cup, I guess. But we'll get it in the mud cup and get it in the tank here before we leave. And hopefully when we get back, we'll have some lilies floating around in there. But full disclosure, I'm not a herbivorologist scientist or nothing. I know nothing about plants, as you probably figured out. I know nothing about fish. I just try to stumble through it as best as I can. But anyhow, let's get these moved over here. Make a mess on my table here real quick. I think I'm gonna... Mud stinks, man. I got these little mud streaks on these rocks. It almost looks like a streak of like worm poop or something. I was just asking Sompit if it's something to worry about, because I'm sure there's a bug or a worm or something in there doing that. But it's just mud. God damn, that stuff smells. Maybe that's part of the problem. But if you recall, I got this mud over where the lilies grow, because I figured it was good for the lilies, because there's lilies growing in it over there. God damn, it stinks. I don't think I want to put that back in my fish, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to discard this mud, because now I'm a little bit afraid of it. Try to find something we have around here we might be able to put in there for dirt. I might go out on one of these canals where all the grass grows and just get some fresh dirt, because this is almost scary, to be honest with you. It stinks bad. It smells like rotten old swamp mud. So let me get back to you. Just for the record, I wasn't worried about the stinky mud in relationship to the lilies. My concern was that it was rotten, decaying, maybe rancid, something in there that might affect the fish. That was my real concern. I'm I mean, it was probably good for the lilies actually, because that means it's probably going to create some nutrients later on. But like I said, I was worried about the fish. I didn't want to kill the fish. So what we did is we went out, we got one of the pots that Some Pit had the lilies in out in the swimming hole, the dried up swimming hole. And we had lilies growing in there, but if you recall, the bugs came through and ate the lilies. There's a worm or something flipping around in here. Little tiny one. I don't know what kind of worm it is. I can't see. Oh, it looks like a little earthworm. He ain't going to survive. I'm just going to throw him out in the yard. All right, so we threw the little worm in the houseplant over there. So anyhow, I'm just going to punch some holes down in here. And again, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just watched a YouTube video a while back and kind of trying to mimic that guy because he sounded like he knew more than I did. So as you can see, 2 sprouts on this one. And I don't know what to do. I'm just going to kind of bury these just a little bit, not much. Make it easy for that little sprout to get up out of there. And my thought is, in nature, these things are just going to fall to the bottom, right? Lay on top until they sprout and then eventually get covered up with silt. So that's kind of my thought process of how I'm going to plant them. This one here, you can see it in the camera, a little tiny sprout popping out right there next to the main one. Hasn't quite straightened out yet, but it's coming out. So we're just going to drop that down in the hole, kind of point this thing north. Got them both in there. And if you're watching this for educational purposes, shut it off because you ain't going to learn nothing from me. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I'm just going to, these rocks are much bigger than I wanted. I did get rid of those rocks too. These were the rocks that I sorted from the fish rocks that are more porous, that are hard to clean. These in here, I won't be taking out and cleaning them. I'll just take the pot out, set it aside, clean everything else, and then just put this pot back in there, so I'm not too worried about these rocks. These are too big, though. I can tell you that, in my mind. Make sure I don't sit on top of these little sprouts. So we got a pretty good pile of rocks in there. Nice little holes for them to come up out of, I think. I think we're good there. So with that, I'm going to go put this in the tank over there. Right or wrong, I have no clue. You can see they both have little leaf buds right here. Lily pad buds. I'm assuming when they get to the top, they'll just open up like they did before. It is going to sit right here in the shade. I'm never going to have that thing over there. So if these come up and they don't open up and don't have enough sun to do whatever they need to do, too bad. I'm not going to have them. I'll just save the rest of these seeds and put them in the pond like I said I was planning to later this year. So Some Pit and I were looking at this. We think we're going to try to keep this away from the bubbles. I got 2 bubblers, one here, one here. So we're going to set this pot kind of over toward this edge. We were also just talking about these guppies. Mark told me last night that the colorful ones are the males. The plain looking ones are the females. And there's at least 2 of them in there that are all puffed out that we think probably are full of eggs. So by the time we get back, we'll probably have babies in here. But I can see already these babies that we got the first time around, when we first filled this, are double in size now. I can see 4 or 5 of them. But anyhow, we're going to put this down in here, and I'm sure a muddy cloud's going to come out of it initially till everything gets this stuff. I want to find some more of this because they really like these plants. They just congregate underneath it. I'm just going to set it down here on the rocks like that. And it didn't really cloud up much, did it? Okay, and we'll just see what it looks like when we get back. So everybody has made it to Mark's. We got a full house. It sounds like a few of them are going to go outside for a walk around. It sounds like either that or they're going to go smoke a cigarette.
Take a tour outside.
Okay. That's Neil, Warren's friend. First time anybody has met him. He's a friend of Warren's. And then we all know Book. And Warren. And of course, Mark.
Book's okay, yeah. What's on YouTube?
Yeah, he's on YouTube.
Are you on YouTube? Yes.
He's gonna be.
Shy.
Can I get your autograph?
You saw it?
We're trying to find him a girlfriend on YouTube.
A girlfriend?
Yeah.
You want a girlfriend?
I told him.
You told me got a lot to get some say.
And of course, Karsten made it.
Yes. It's very much.
So he's got the pork on a rotisserie in the oven. We're just going to hang out here, drink a few beers. Girls are drinking wine. Probably won't do a lot of videos, a lot of talk, a lot of chatter. So anyhow, we might show you the pork when he gets it out, though. But we got a countertop full of snacks already.
Oh, okay.
I'm American citizen.
This stuff here is awesome. It's a pork that's like salt dried, cured, like a bruschetto stuff, but delicious. Said he got it down in Hue Hin, if anybody's wondering. Oh, he just bought a telescope too. That'll be interesting once he gets that out. I'll have to take a look at that. And we got some few people. They weren't going out to smoke really. They were going out to tour the outside. Warren and Neil just got here, so they're going out to take a look around. The fish we looked at the other day, he got a light in there. It looks really nice. Beautiful fish. And the koi pond out there. But yeah, they went outside to take a tour outside. So we'll just catch up with you later, or maybe not.
So you can see how he sounded living in it.
Yeah. Oh, so this is your first one up here?
No, I live in Korat for 6 months. But I have people on from there. Or anybody up there, so I'm actually.
So check this out. He's got a rotisserie in here. And he run the pork for a while, and then he put the potatoes under it. So these potatoes ought to be delicious because the pork juices dropped all over top of them.
I had a mate who's in Mars as well, and when he first moved over, he moved to Party, and he only wanted to be in Party, and Party. And I said to him, I really like it.
So it's about 7 p.m. Pork's ready. Booked, set the table. He's getting it all ready for us. And so we're getting ready to sit down here and eat. Probably won't have another update. I think we're done eating. We're going to probably drink one more beer after that, and then we'll head out. Been a good weekend, very good weekend. A lot of good people. Thanks for joining us, Paradise in Thailand.